Hello, my name's the professor, joined with my student teacher.
Hi, I'm Izumi.
We are the top runners of the Nightmare Before Christmas Oogie's Revenge, Azumi being the world record holder. Please gloat.
I have all 15 records in the categories at the moment, but I'm gonna try and do individual levels next.
Today we'll be showing off New Game Plus. New Game Plus is a bit shorter than regular New Game, somewhere in the ballpark of like 10 to 20 minutes. New Game Plus gives us all the upgrades as well as the 100% reward Infinite Fire Souls. Lets us speed through most combats, but there's still some interesting tricks in the run. Do you have anything to add, Azumi?
Not right at the beginning, but I do want to just throw out there my dog's kind of milling about my room, so if he barks, I'll try and mute myself, but you might hear him once or twice in the submission.
That's okay, we love dogs. Alright.
Facts.
Timing usually starts when we press yes. So I'll get us started. Three, two, one, go.
All right.
So Nightmare Before Christmas is a chapter-based action RPG, similar to Devil May Cry because this was also made by Capcom.
Yeah, it's actually a really similar feeling to Devil May Cry. I mean, there's not as many like unique weapons or anything, but the mechanics and the movement are very similar, and the combat's honestly really fun. This was one of my favorite games growing up.
Same here, really. Playing this back in the day on PS2. I believe Zumi had the Xbox version.
I did, but I played it into the ground. My disc stopped reading.
That's how you know you love the game. So
Yeah.
right here, what would you call this, Izumi?
Uh, Holding X. So if you hold down the flamethrower button, since we have infinite souls, the skeletons just kind of spawn and instantly die. So you can just they continuously spawn until Oogie stops talking. So once uh once that happens, we can wait for the cutscene and move into the first boss here.
They stop spotting right around his last ha, and when the speaker kind of gives that weird free sound.
Yeah, the little feedback noise.
Throughout the game, you'll see these character introduction cutscenes. That one was for three Mr. Hydes. That is the only type of cutscene that you cannot skip. But the
Yeah.
rest of them you can skip by mashing start or the soul rubber button.
Luckily, the character intro cutscenes are typically pretty short.
Yeah, and there's only what, three of them?
I don't know. I think so. I know there's the hit Mr. Hydes, there's Morning Tree. Yeah, excellent execution right here. We're on easy new game plus, so Shadow Oogie over here goes down in three or not three, six rank three fire blasts.
Yep. According to Brady Games, he only has 750 health on easy. I by my estimate, it's around 800.
It's actually
So,
600.
oh really?
Yeah, data mining the PS2 version, it's 600. The Fire Blast does 80 damage at rank 1, 90 damage at rank 2, and 100 damage at rank 3. So if you have anything under that under rank 3, it'll take 7 hits.
Yep. And luckily, this game loves going by tens. So unlike Kingdom Hearts, which since this was made by Buena Vista as well, enemies don't stop you from doing anything. Thank gosh.
I know. That would be so annoying. Probably add like 5 minutes minimum to the run.
Now I failed there, but
You should Fire Blast these enemies. Fire Blasting here makes you can just run away from them and they'll despawn, but if you Fire Blast them, by the time you run over to Monster Kid here, or Corpse Kid, I don't remember his name. He's
Corpse
pretty
Kid.
much all the way spawned.
yeah.
My notes says Monster Kid. I keep fucking it up.
But as you notice throughout this game, there is very a lot of callbacks to the actual movie. So luckily, it is the 30th anniversary of it this year. So
Indeed.
yeah.
And
So
this game, like, The movie too has some amazing songs, but this game, they, it was a travesty they didn't release it as a soundtrack.
Oh yeah. The movie soundtrack came with the premium pack of this game in Japan PS2, but we didn't get that here. So you're noticing I'm flipping and changing at the same time. That saves maybe a tenth of a second, but the amount of times we turn into regular Jack, Skeleton Jack, and Pumpkin Jack, it saves probably like 4 or 5 seconds throughout the entire run. You'd say like 4 or 5 seconds?
Yeah, somewhere in that ballpark. I was trying to like math it out, but that sounds about right.
Yeah. There's also a trick that I rarely do it. I really only go for it ILs. Certain doors that you have to unlock with the A button or X button to open the door. If you hit the costume change button at the same frame, you'll hear the sound effect, and when you get to the other side of the door, of the loading screen, you'll be that character. And
yeah,
that
that's
just
pretty
saves
neat.
just slightly bit more time, because both flipping and changing stops you for a bit of time. Changing stops you completely. Flipping, you get a little bit of a momentum still.
I think flipping... I haven't tested this fully, but I think flipping the beginning of the animation is either faster or just as fast as walking, and then he just like pauses for like a quarter of a second as soon as he lands.
Yeah.
So it's like that landing that actually kills you.
Yeah. But if I were to like change like this, I'm stopped for like almost a full second. So, just little oodles of time.
Yeah.
Now coming up, we're having our first gauntlet. These are just 20 enemies that spawn either skeletons or ghosts.
Yeah, the brats bring in their armada over here. The first fight with all the brats, except for Barrel. I mean, except, you know, technically, I guess the top 3 levels of the Pumpkinhead are his gauntlet, but yeah, yeah, you have you know, Locke's got his skeletons, Shock's got some ghosts, and you just fight all them, and then like in a different level they'll reappear and you can actually fight them.
Well, we put fight in quotation marks. You'll see when we get there.
Yeah, it's pretty rough
Yeah.
for them.
Is it hot in here, or is it just Texas?
No, it's a Pumpkin King.
Right here, it's a little fetch quest, literally, with our dog, Zero, where we have to find the Hanging Tree's Hanging Men. And you can't be a hanging tree without your hanging men.
Yeah, there are 5 of them, but unfortunately they are linear, so you can't get them in any order, even like, so the linear order is slightly slower than what would be the optimal order.
Yeah. Which sucks for all you Metroidvania fans out there. But there's no real sequence breaks in this game.
Yeah, there's a couple of things that like cut out a little bit of movement, but for the most part, you can't really skip story stuff.
Yeah.
That'd be like the holy grail if anybody finds that.
Yeah. Hell, even there's some places that we can't get to because of invisible walls that would cut like probably Deadly Nightshade. We could save like maybe 5 minutes because we don't have to go to the poison side 3 different times.
Yeah.
For the Crystal Skull and then the trophy / actual Deadly Nightshade.
Yeah. That's more of a hundo thing though, so it's...
Yeah. 100% is really
Kinda
fun in
goes
this
in.
game. I'd probably... I dare say Nightmare 100% is my favorite speedrun of all time. I dare say that.
It's definitely fun, it's just like, you have to plan it out or else you're not really gonna have fun.
Yeah. Any percent New Game Plus is like its polar opposite. We're not getting anything. In regular any percent, we would go after different S ranks to get quick thousands or 500 souls.
Yeah. It's like Devil May Cry again, with the chapter rewards. At the end of every chapter, based on how well you do with the ranks, you get soul bonuses. And souls are your currency in this game. But with New Game Plus, it you basically don't visit the shop whatsoever, and we already have everything. So it's basically just the fastest speed run of this game, except for like the categories that don't play every level.
Yeah.
But you know, a lot of the other categories, it's fun trying to like figure out the best way to get your optimal money so you can get like what upgrades you feel you need.
What I just did there, there is an item exclusive to easy mode called the Pumpkin Shield, which at level 3 gives you 7 seconds of invincibility.
It's kind of fucking nutty.
Yep, level 1, even level 1 giving you 3 seconds of invincibility. We were, in the early days of speedrunning this, we abused that to no end. Now
Yeah.
we found like different ways to avoid using Pumpkin Shield, but it revolutionized the early days of Nightmare Before Christmas speedrunning.
Yeah, the only issue with it is it takes like 2 seconds for you standing still before you get the buff.
Yeah.
So you can be knocked out of the animation.
And if you do, you can't get another one until you automatically trigger it, or you wait for it to trigger automatically.
Yeah.
Which sometimes is hard in certain situations. Now, going back, it would take more time for me to put on the Pumpkin Shield than it would just to wait for it.
Yeah.
So on the way there, it saves maybe half a second. You might be thinking, well, why are we doing all these like small time saves? These really do add up. It pays off dividends later on in the run if you have multiple seconds and multiple minutes just saved.
Yeah, like this goes for any given speed run, but you know, if you add up 1 second per level, you know, that could be the difference between a world record and just a PB.
Yeah. We're talking me getting these little seconds got me from a 2:02 to the first sub 2 hour run of all time. And I did that on disc. We are now due to different timings in other categories, the community has decided to move to HDD on Xbox specifically, and we're looking into HDD on PlayStation 2 as well, once we better understand it.
Yeah. And it's just mostly for consistency's purpose. Like, there's so many different revisions of Xbox disk drives, and they fail. I don't want to say often, but they can fail. So you know, it helps everybody, you know, do faster runs, and it evens the playing field.
Not to mention, originally this was for like IL runs, and the smaller Let's Dance boss battles. But we also thought, if we're gonna allow it in one category, we might as well allow it for all categories.
Yeah,
So,
it makes sense. And we kind of took the lead from Battle for Bikini Bottom.
Yeah, in that sense, at least. I know certain games like Futurama do it due to rarity situations. In the future, we might revisit it for the reasons of rarity, because this game is not exactly the most common game in the world.
Yeah, I bought a disc of it a couple years back for like $35, I think, but it is probably gonna just keep going up.
Yeah. I remember right after How to Train a Speedrun, a lot of them shot up to $70-$80 for a little bit.
Oh wow,
Just because there were so many.
That's the GDQ magic right there.
Yeah, I'm glad I got to do that, but also that like hurts me a little bit that people were trying to scalp the game.
Yeah, I hate scalpers.
So this chapter, if you've ever seen me do a run of this game on any percent, you know my what's the opposite of affinity?
Gripes.
My gripes with these tombstones. I don't know how. I don't know how Azumi does it. I don't know how Ecdysis does it. I don't know how Paradox does it. I don't know how Dogby does it. I don't know how anybody does it. With level 1 Soul Robber, I could never do it. Even as a kid, I could never do it.
I had a lot more trouble as a kid, and I think it has something to do with rhythm, because, like, I mean, I'm not 100% consistent with it on level 1, but it's doable.
And then there's me who's sitting there for like almost a minute, 2 minutes, trying to pick it up, getting constantly hit.
The worst part is, like, if you fail it, then if you fail it once, you might get enough time to have like one more try. But if you fail it twice, you definitely have to kill the enemies or like run them around so you don't get hit while you're trying to do it.
Yeah.
Because they'll just make you drop it.
This also doesn't bode well on 100%, where we have to get a certain amount of damage lower. So the less amount of damage, the higher the rank.
Yeah.
And on higher ranks like Nightmare, where each hit puts 2 points onto it, yeah, you can lose it fast.
Yeah. That's part of the reason why on normal and Nightmare Hundo, I do my money grinding very early, so I have an easier time not taking damage.
Yeah.
And it also helps with bringing up the tombstones, like you said. But yeah, that's chapter 4 right there. We just pulled up some tombstones.
Well, we have 2 more. It's a tight spot for a grave plot.
I don't know why you do these in 2 separate runs. I usually just do 1 full room of these and then the other one. That's just your muscle memory.
I haven't taken the time to time this chapter, as it's a chapter I don't like to do with level 1 Soul Robber. Anywho. But how I've always done it is just go for the one next to the door, then immediately head out, then come back for these 3. That has nipped me in the bud a couple times, especially on world record pace, where I lost it because I was like scrambling trying to find the last tombstone. It was just back there.
Part of what I'm thinking is I do all 4 of the ones in this room and then go into the other room, and when I come back, none of the enemies spawn, so I can talk to Morning Tree immediately.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't think it saves a ton of time, but maybe a couple seconds.
Right here, we're in our next boss chapter. This one has sort of a mini boss before the boss. Should I do the flashy way, or should I just bomb him?
You can try the flashy way. I think bombing's gonna come into play in Barrel.
Yeah. Barrel sucks. I never liked the Barrel mini boss.
And we also kind of hyped up the flashy way too.
I think it's cooler than just firebombing children.
Yeah. I'll explain this a little bit. There's a circular kind of move with your Soul Robber where you do a full circle on the thumbstick and then hit the attack button, and it does like a little area of effect attack. And this is usually pretty weak. It's weaker than normal hits. But if you taunt, you actually charge up your Soul Robber and it does extra damage. And if you use a blue soul, it does that same buff. But if you use the spin attack against the kids, they actually take double damage from it. And the charged up version of the Soul Robber makes the spin attack do 8 times its normal damage.
Yeah.
So that's 16 times damage on the kids. It's like a 3-shot, and they all happen in 1 spin if you do it right.
And you hit them 3 times in a row. So
exactly.
If my math is correct, and my math is always correct, we're doing 48 times damage.
Let me see.
It's not 48 times damage, but
if you compare it to level 1 Soul Robber, it is 48. The level 1 Soul Robber uncharged spin attack, there was a good example of it right there. Does 2 damage, and then it goes up by 2 damage each level up, and then as you do the increase, it'll do the multipliers, like I said, so it'll do the double for doing locks, so it'll go up to 12, and then 12 times 8 is what, 96? So yeah, that's 48 times.
Nice. So we kind of glazed over this boss. The point of this boss is that it has a weak point on its back, and we have to hit it to cause it to release spider children. And since this is a Let's Dance, instead of dropping normal drops, it drops soul notes.
Yeah. The spider children act as the boss's health bar for the most part, but when you do the Let's Dance right here, the damage goes directly onto the health bar as well. So usually the best version of this fight you can do is 2-cycle and then do the dance. Yeah, but you can still charge up and get the cycle.
Yeah, but it's...
You only lost like 3 seconds.
I'm constantly referencing the Greedy Game Guide, but have you data mined the Can Dancer's power yet?
I haven't, like, I don't know if they like store what damage you're supposed to do, but my understanding of it is if you have 0 dancers behind you on the when you're doing a Let's Dance, it does anywhere from 0 to 99 damage. 1 dancer would be 100 to 199, and so on and so forth up to 4. So you can do a maximum of what, 499 damage or something like that. Maybe
Actually,
400.
no. If you get a perfect score on the Let's Dance, you do a 1,000 damage.
Ooh, okay.
So 4 is still like 399 to 400, but if you get a perfect score, it's automatically 1,000.
I might have to take another look into the code and see if I can.
Again, this is
find
what
something.
Brady games. This is what Brady says.
Yeah, I mean, maybe his number's slightly off, but I reckon it's like I know his math adds up.
Yeah. So one thing I don't like about this game is, so I have the key. It's locked. I have to go into my pocket, pull out the key, turn the lock, and open the door.
And now I can get into the lab. Also, this ambient soundtrack just slaps.
If I ever become a mad doctor one day, I want this playing 24/7.
That's a fact.
So coming up here, this is an interesting gimmick. In any percent, this is the only time this happens, and 100% happens in Nether Hidden Place. You have to defeat the gargoyles as well as the trick and treat.
Yeah. You can run like backwards, like on regular new game I'll just go backwards and despawn the gargoyles, but it's a little bit faster to just kill them. I think there's also a hidden place that makes you destroy all of the explosive pumpkins on the ground. I hate that one.
Yeah. And then one of them, I don't like the guillotine skeleton trap.
I hate those.
It just feels like everywhere they are, they're just in the worst possible spot.
Yeah, like, I mean, I can dodge them well enough since they're, like, fairly consistent, but they're so annoying if you get on a bad cycle.
Yeah.
Alright, so we just talked to Igor. We got through this gate, and he is,
Wanting a
not
biscuit.
gonna... Yeah, he doesn't want to let us into the doctor's lab, but he is a bit hungry.
Yeah.
So if we bribe him, he may be inclined to let us pass.
Yeah. And where do you get food? The store, right?
That's
So-
where I get it.
Yeah. So we're gonna go to the store right now. There's no Uber Eats in Halloween Town yet. Or DoorDash if that's your thing. Huh, there wasn't a cutscene here earlier. Ah, nuts.
Here is the next gauntlet.
So what I'm doing here is called the Homie Hurricane. Shout out to my baby gravies out there. The idea is that you pick up an enemy and you swing it around as fast as possible. Usually
Usually your grip will deteriorate and your soul robber will get to like yellow and then red and then it'll force you to let go of them. But as long as you keep using these blue souls, and luckily sometimes they even drop them to refresh you like that, your grip never fully deteriorates, so you can just instantly get through all of them.
Yep.
The new world record that did this just fire blasts the ghost, but I'm still unsure if Homie Hurricane is actually slower.
It's just specifically for the ghost, since they move around so sporadically.
What's the matter, Jack?
Yeah.
I'd like to buy a bone biscuit.
A bone biscuit? I'm sorry, but Corpse Kid just came in here a moment ago and bought the last one.
Okay, that's
Which
dumb,
is
but okay.
the best bargain in
Should we
town.
blame Corpse Kid or should we blame the shop for not carrying extra stock?
Usually in the back, this is the only chapter that does it. In the back, there's Bone Biscuits. This is the only chapter that gets rid of them.
I never noticed that.
Yeah, this game, it has so much, like, just background elements and things you can, look into. Like,
Yeah, you can
look
kind
at
of
this
like
poster.
inspect some posters and stuff. Maybe not that one, but there's a
You
couple
can, like,
of
look
them
at
around.
this. Like, there's stuff around here you can examine. Like, this game is chock full of, like, Easter eggs and stuff like that.
The neat part is a lot of the posters change
My
as the
fine
game
boy.
progresses.
I
My
need that
fine
biscuit
boy.
to save.
This is a cool part. Professor's fast at this quiz.
So, this is a quiz, but I'm the professor. I have the quiz key.
Question 1. That's right. Question. That's right. Question 3. That's right. Question 4. That's right. Question 5. That's right. Question. That's right. Question. Question. That's right. Question. Let's see. 7.
You only need to get
Go,
6
Jack.
correct, I believe. So this quiz, this first one for the Bone Biscuit, always has the same questions, but not in the same order. But if you come and take a quiz later on, he has a litany of.
150 different questions.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought it was 150, but now we can bribe Igor over here.
Yep. I have played this game so much that I can just stare at the answers. And
Yeah, I just look at the answers. The only issue is the Jack's Hand and Hanging Man, but if I get both of those wrong, it's okay.
well, I just know Jack's Hand has 3 numbers and Hanging Man has none. So and then Finkelstein's the only one with 8.
Yeah. I know all the color ones, you have to go to the bottom choice. And then,
Well, that was flashy.
Thrills and Chills and then Halloween Town are
And
just
Skellington.
their
obviously.
selves. Yeah, those ones are obvious.
I mean, I would love to have some chocolate eggs on Halloween. Chocolate's delicious.
That would be great. Give me a little, Reese's egg.
Heck yeah. Or one of those Cadbury cream eggs. I'm a big fan of those.
Oh, yes.
So right here we have a rock. Not Iran, Iraq.
Not I
And-
rock, I roll.
And we have to destroy these different things. Thanks to having level 3, we have such a long range and such a long grip. We can just wait for these electric gates. If you messed up on any percent, you have to drop the rock or risk going all the way back.
Yeah, it is really annoying the grab range of low level Soul Robber because you can be like that far away and you might not grab it.
Yeah. I sometimes like to be closer to the exit so I can just hold one direction instead of like moving my control stick.
Are you gonna flip here?
This is quick elevator. You can flip up, and you can skip
Okay.
like the last half second.
I think my best exit from this room was like a 11780 or something like that. If you just go up, like forward, and then after 1 or 2 steps, just do a triple flip, the what's it called? Bear trap just never grabs you.
Yeah, and this one always gets me. You have to go on the right side of the guillotine to get through.
Yeah,
he's
it's really
slightly
annoying.
off-center.
You have to approach it, let it explode, and then hug the left end of the wall, and then go past on the right.
I'm gonna go for the cold jump here, but
It's
that didn't work. That didn't work. That didn't work.
oh my god.
What happened? I took my hand off the control stick so I'd like do the regular flips,
Yeah.
and then Jack was like, twirl. Ah,
You
man.
can clear that gap with a well enough jump, but it only saves time if you do it first try. And it is
No.
fairly tricky.
No.
Oh no. I don't think you're gonna make it.
Fun fact, in the movie and in the video game, the voice actress for Shock is the same one for Phil and Lil in Rugrats. And that is our co-host, Dog. We keep him behind glass. I'm kidding. We don't do that.
Yeah, he just helps us find the skeletons.
Luckily on New Game Plus, we can use Pumpkin Shield. And at some points, it helps. After the after the two, it feels random to me, but I think it's still a pattern at some point.
I feel like it's 1 2 1 2 for the most part, but like I don't know if it always stays like that.
To
But
me, it feels
I
like
know
1 1 1 2 1 1 1 2.
Well, I mean at the beginning it is definitely like 4 or 5 ones in a row.
Yeah.
But what's it called? I usually just try and dodge through them and I'll take a bunch of damage, but if you can sometimes, it's very, very precise to just dodge through the boulder and you can avoid damage.
Yeah. Alright, we're in Changing Brains. This is what I like to call fast surgery.
This is what, like
rocket
the
surgery?
second, tied for second place for fastest chapter?
Pretty much.
I think Changing Brains and Chapter 15 have very similar lengths, and then Chapter 20, Chapter 20 is the fastest. Let's go one cycle. Yeah,
Okay.
perfect
That is a
fight.
tighter window than you think.
Yeah,
Especially with level 2 Soul Robber, where your length is like maybe 3/4 of that.
it is tricky too, because if the machine guns start shooting at you, they make you drop the brain half.
And then a lightning hand comes down and you can't do anything about that.
Yeah, solid
102.
minute chapter.
Yeah. I think my best time is a 1 flat. I'm really hoping to get a 59 in this chapter so bad.
Yeah, I feel like I've gotten at least close to one flat before.
But like the 1 flat, that took me like 2 hours of playing that chapter over and over and over again.
Yeah, luckily it's so easy to grind. Or well, so short
Shoutouts
to
to
grind.
Paradox for the Paradive. Oh, I never landed up there before.
I land there about 30 to 40% of the time.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. You can also jump off of that towards the bottom left corner, and it'll land you kind of near the door.
Yeah, I didn't want to risk anything. I just wanted to get out of there before I tempted fate too much.
Nah, it's all good.
Oh, look, it's Sally.
Yeah, we ain't got no time for women. We're busy saving the world.
And that's how we never got into any game convention again. But I'm
No, that's
currently
how we
reading
never
the
got laid.
Long Live the Pumpkin Queen book. Why are her parents the king and queen of Dreamland?
I mean, it kind of makes sense, because, I mean, if Jack's the Pumpkin King, he should marry other royalty, I guess.
Well, it's not even the whole royalty fact. He just actually loves Sally, and Sally actually loves Jack, even when she's like, I don't want to do this royal work anymore. She still loves Jack, like, no matter what. Like, that's always stayed consistent.
It's honestly relationship goals.
Who needs to fight?
We are approaching our second Oogie speech.
Yep. And I honestly think this is my second favorite. My first is always going to be in chapter I Hate My Life 13.
Yeah. We just seen a glimpse of my favorite character, Behemoth.
We'll see
He
him
grows the
later on.
pumpkins. It's his job.
Jack has returned, according to the reports. He's enjoying our dangerous...
Yeah, like we said earlier, we get to just chill out for a bit, because you can go a little bit further.
Did you know McDonald's hamburgers contain only 15% real beef, while the other 85% is pink slime cleansed with ammonia?
Did you know that they cost like $2 now?
They're gonna pump us full of chemicals and not even make it cheap?
I know, right?
Half-alive playmates.
But yeah, the Oogie's whole speech will trigger enemies to spawn if you go past a certain line, which is a little bit farther. It's like past a pumpkin. But as soon as he's finished saying angry, you can cross the line and you'll hear the music start, but it won't spawn anything before the speech is finished.
Yeah.
Something I didn't know until I was trying to do a minimum run of this game. You can actually despawn all of the enemies in this area.
I
You
can't.
just gotta run back. Yeah, you just gotta run back and forth. It's slower though, I think.
Oh, that's good for the ghost. I will.
Despawning is like, what's it called?
An art.
Proximity based. Luckily, you don't always need to have them off the screen. It's just,
Yeah.
but we got some quick combat here. We gotta kill maybe 10 things, and then we can swing back across and finish Chapter 9 out. Easy clap with Pumpkin King. The Fire Blast animation also gives you invincibility frames, like you've seen just there at that pumpkin.
Yep. And there's also invincibility frames in the flip. There's a
Yeah.
lot of stuff taken from Kingdom Hearts 2. They put in Nightmare Before Christmas, like the dodge roll. There's like quick loads, like in Kingdom Hearts 1 after you beat Shadow Sora, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the
The
auto-lock
invincibility
system-
frames in Fire Blast are, I would say, significantly longer than the roll one, though.
Yeah. So, this is called Barrel's Maze. And I want to make this perfectly clear for any aspiring maze makers. This is a circle.
It's more like Barrel's Puzzle rather than Barrel's Maze.
Hell, I don't even think I've been on the left side of the maze. Actually, no, that's just where you enter in the Behemoth area.
Yeah.
It's a U. And it's not even a puzzle. You hit a switch, and then
Yeah.
that's it.
You have to. The puzzle is finding the right switch. There's like
Fine,
5
I could just hit
pumpkins
the
around.
switch.
Yeah.
But
There's
you
like
can tell
5
that's not even
pumpkins
the
around,
right
but you
one.
only need to hit 3 in the level.
Yeah.
This is also, I want to say this is close to as fast as Finkel in Chapter 15. I think it's like 110 or something.
I've definitely got under 90 seconds. I can get under 90 seconds in almost any category, barring Hundo.
Yeah, there's not a lot of difference in this level for any category, just because, you know, there's not really any combat that's mandatory.
And there's no reason to fight them.
Yeah.
Unless
The
you're
only-
on Hundo.
The only, like, difference is usually I think on New Game you won't have level 3 Soul Robber by this point, so you'll have to be closer to the second pumpkin to grab it, but that's about it.
Yeah.
That's probably less than a second loss.
Yeah.
The fun part right here at the end is they try to spawn 3 trolls to block your way and stuff, but you can just walk right past them.
You don't even need... even on HDD, you don't even see them load in.
Yeah.
Yeah, 156, and that's me going as slow as probably possible.
Yeah, you showed the map, you hit an additional pumpkin.
And still less than 2 minutes.
Yeah. This is Peril in the Pumpkinhead. We get to go through the apartment complex that is Behemoth's magnum opus. And my job.
Taking care of Pumpkin.
So penthouse up here, we just gotta kill like 8 skeletons or something like that.
No, they're not even that. 6.
Oh, it's only 6.
Yeah.
And then the second level, it's just ghosts. I think it's a random amount, but it's usually somewhere between like 6 and 10-ish. But I think it's mostly close to 6-ish.
And same thing. The ghosts are constantly spread out in like random dramatic movement. So I just Homie Hurricane here.
Yeah, you don't even need to use the Blue Soul necessarily, but like the nicest part of the Homie Hurricane is it draws everything in like I was gonna say a tornado, but I mean, yeah, I guess tornado works.
Yeah.
brings everything to you, including souls. And the third level, we just have 5 upgraded enemies. Easy enough to deal with.
I cannot confirm or deny if this is the fastest way. It's just the most consistent way of dealing with this floor.
I feel like maybe there's a faster way than using Pumpkin Shield, but the way you do it is pretty fucking quick, honestly.
Yeah. Plus,
And
it's
now
safe.
we are downstairs. We get to meet up with Beryl, Oogie's prodigal son, his shining star. Takes 3 fire blasts, like the other kids. And if you're not too quick, I mean, there's plenty of skeletons that just continuously spawn, and they have like the homing boomerangs and stuff, which is really annoying, especially
The
on
heat skeleton easily is my least favorite enemy in the game.
You and me both.
You, me, and Neronium both. All 3 of us. In both his Let's Plays of this game, he just like showed a clear disdain for that, and also for the next chapter coming up after this one.
Yeah. So that was like technically a boss fight, but I mean, we kind of class the brats as a mini boss.
Yeah. The full boss with the brats is coming up in 3 chapters.
Damn, it's already 3 chapters away. What?
I consider post chapter 13 the halfway point of the run.
Yeah. At least time-wise.
Time.
A lot of the fast chapters are early on.
And very late on, too.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was looking at the notes.
You have I think chapter 20 and 21 are like the 2. No, 23 is also kind of fast.
22 I consider fast, too. It's like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
maybe
but
6.
5 minutes. I'm talking fast as in like, you know, maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, 22 is not terrible either. But you know, the real fucking slogs are chapter 13, chapter 12 to an extent, just because you have to walk all the way back to Halloween Town, and then
All the
chapter
way up
9.
to Dr. Finkelstein's lab, and then down again.
Yeah, and you have chapter 18 and 19 are also pretty long.
Yeah. I consider 19 to be the longest. It's also the most mind-numbing in my opinion, especially in Nightmare 100%.
Yeah.
I love this game, but there's just top 3 things I wish they'd fix in the remake. 1, put an elevator in Finkelstein's lab after you beat it the first time.
Yeah, that would be so good.
2, don't make Nightmare mode basically Jack must die mode. If you want to make Nightmare mode Jack must die mode, that's fine.
Just make it like the 4th difficulty.
Yeah, or an unlockable difficulty
Yeah.
for people
'Cause,
like
like,
me
when
and
I
Zumi.
When I was young, I was like, okay, you know, normal sounds okay, you know. I used to play like Resident Evil on hard mode and stuff, because hard was like fair mode, and normal was just like baby mode. And in this
Easy
game,
was, here's the game.
yeah. And then, so Nightmare on this, I was like, okay, yeah, let me try Nightmare. And it's just, everything has buckets of health. It does double damage. It's just a big turn off.
I'll put it into perspective. Easy and normal's S rank requirement for combo on chapter 1. The first level is 24. On Nightmare mode, it is 120.
Yeah. Oh, basically the only way you're getting that is doing the secret place that gives you the golden pumpkin.
Or you basically perfect the starting speech.
So we need to freeze Clown with a present and talk to the Tall Witch to be able to trigger getting a tool from Dr. Finkelstein.
Yep.
It's really annoying to try and hit Clown with a level 1 present, but anything level 2 or higher, it's kind of okay.
Yeah,
The
radius is
hitbox
huge.
increases.
Basically, story-wise, what happened was, Lock and Shock, while we were fighting Beryl, replaced Clown's unicycle, and as Tall Witch was going home to get some supplies for the shop, she ran into him going in, like, that loop.
I never realized why she was there. But yeah, we're on our way to help out Clown because we have to help our friends and also save the world. So
Save the world,
we,
get the
we
girl.
yeah, we just gotta be a good guy.
Jack is 100% chaotic hero. My man's will traumatize some kids, but goddamn, if you hurt the kids, he's gonna hurt you.
Yeah, he does it for their own good.
Yeah.
What's this?
So, I talk about the timeline a lot in these speedruns of Nightmare Before Christmas Oogie's Revenge. I swore this took place a year after the Nightmare Before Christmas
The movie.
Because I know the Pumpkin King like outright says it's a year before, so I might have assumed it was a year after. By the way,
Yeah.
Jack is king for a year, and he's like, I'm already sick of this.
I need something new.
No, he's been like the head of Halloween for like eons.
Yeah.
It was just he was king for 1 year, and he's like, that's it. Don't do this to me. I'm done.
One and done. Like George Dub.
I guess that kind of goes along with Sally being like, after a year of working, she doesn't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, I mean you want to retire at some point. I don't know how if skeletons just live in dog years or what, but that would kind of make sense. I mean, dogs love bones.
Yeah. I was about to say, like, Jack's not living, but at the beginning of the game, he's classified as a non-corporeal being. So he's not dead. In Nightmare Before Christmas Law, Jack Skellington is not dead.
Doesn't corporeal mean like physical, like non-spiritual?
Oh, so he is dead. Never mind.
So he's a
I thought it was
spiritual being.
not corpse.
Oh.
Non.
Let me look it up. Let me look this up.
Yeah. But yeah, for the longest time, I thought this took place in 1994. Because the movie takes place in 1993. That's been confirmed up and down by Danny Elfman, Tim Burton, and Selleck. I forget his first name. The director, Matthew Selleck, I think it is.
But yeah, like it was. I swear there was some kind of mention of what the timeline was, where at least where this takes place in it, but
Yeah.
we were just looking at it the other day and we couldn't actually find where it said anything. So
I'm
So
gonna try the
corporeal-
one frame. 1 sec.
oh yeah, let's go.
Dang it.
I missed it. Corporeal actually is defined as relating to a person's body, especially as opposed to their spirit or having a body.
So Jack doesn't have a body? Question mark.
Does that mean that he's a spectral skeleton? Are all of these like holiday worlds just like weird afterlife dimensions?
Maybe. So also, like, the worst feeling is when you've been like getting no luck with the presents on Clown, and then you go up to him finally, and then you're too far away to unscrew the rocket.
Yeah, you open the menu and it just goes. Eh.
You think, I'm just gonna press the confirm button more times and it's gonna work.
If I press it hard enough, I'll go faster. It's
But,
it's the same logic.
Yeah. So that's a king skeleton. That was a king skeleton.
Yeah, they're a bit annoying. They tend to block your attacks from the front, except for fire blasts.
Fire Blast wins again. They even can block the cold front.
Oh, that's annoying. Oh yeah, they can do that, especially like the actual king bosses.
So in this chapter specifically, we switch to manual targeting. So...
No, I'm joking. Yeah, it's recommended to switch to manual targeting just so you can grab the bats easier.
Yeah.
They're very, very skittish, and every bat except for this one has. No, actually, Bat 3 doesn't have any neighbors, but Bat 2 and 4, they have a bunch of other like non-vampire bats. They're just regular bats, and you can grab them, and they don't work. So, if you use manual aim, it just kind of simplifies things.
Yeah.
But there are some things you can do that make it so you don't need manual aim. It's just trickier.
And for me, in my nearly 15 years of playing this game, I've just never been good at this chapter. And that's just a consensus on almost everybody who's played this game. Chapter 13 is their least favorite.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot you can do. Like, I say there's not a lot you can do. It's mostly luck, but there's an element of skill, but it's not so skillful that it's 100% consistent. If they remade the game, they should definitely like test this chapter the most and, you know, actually make sure Soul Robber physics work well.
Yeah.
So up here, sometimes you have to fight 2 king skeletons, but if the second upgraded one spawns, like right there, you only have to fight 2.
Yep. Some Oogie forms, that's what the upgraded forms are called,
Yeah.
are weak to certain elements. I believe the Heat Skeleton is weak to Cold Front, and the upgraded King Skeleton's weak to Fire.
I always wondered why it took only 1 blast.
Yeah. That's just what I've noticed. Again, I could be wrong. Could just be a full-on Oogie form thing, but a lot of
I'm pretty sure you're right, but like I haven't looked at the health bars in a while, but I feel like I thought for a while that the upgraded King Skeleton just had less health, but the what you said kind of makes more sense, because we do know there are some enemies that have like weaknesses and resistances.
Yeah. What I did there is the vampire
Are you
bats...
going for a trash skip?
I am, but I just need to explain what's going on. What I did there was vampire bats have the same AI as Halloween bats, so they will get curious by presence. Any enemy will get curious by presence, they'll run towards it. And we use that to lure bats closer. That's a real big thing for Bats 2 and Bats 4. And also Bats 3.
And when you pop the present, it stuns them very briefly.
Yep.
If you go up to that top left corner by the door and then just go down right and flip, that's the way I do it. It's kind of consistent.
What I also did there was taunt stalling. Basically, you can start holding a direction while taunting to stick Jack in place, and when he's done taunting, he'll beeline it for that direction.
Yeah, and what he did by flipping right there is when you drop normally, you'll hit a trigger that spawns 4 trash cans, which have enemies in them, like those pumpkins were at the pumpkin patch, and they come out upgraded. And you would have to kill all 4 of the enemies, and like you break them out of their trash cans before it lets you swing out of that area. So trash skip just makes it a little bit faster. He's getting curious. Curious George.
And stunning them just locks them in place for a second while they do the animation.
Yeah. So, like, you can get them, like you've seen with the first bat, you can get them with you know, without having them stunned, but when they're like momentarily stalled, it's way easier.
Yeah. And now for the best speech in the entire game.
I love this one.
My dearly abhorred
Wrong one.
denizens of Oblivion, thanks to my own
Yeah, the bat knew you had the wrong one equipped. It was trying to help you.
I have decided to become ruler
The
of
regular non-vampire bats will also dive bomb into the presence and like make them explode, so you want to try and not let that happen.
7 days every year.
Awesome.
Oh my god.
Let's go. If you get the 4th bat before this speech is finished, that is about as good as you can hope for.
I have a debt to
So,
pay.
I'm probably gonna
The-
sub 10 this.
Yeah,
If I could sub 8 it, that'd be nice.
I know. Well, let me see what your
Is it
IL
like an
time is.
808?
Yeah. Yeah, 808 right there.
I don't think I'm gonna get it. I'm at like 650 right now.
Nah, yeah, I mean, I think
If I didn't stop to explain a lot of stuff, I could have probably gotten a chapter 13 world record. That is not a thing that happens all the time. Like, that's probably like the 3rd or 4th time in my 6 years of speedrunning this game that I've
Yeah, it's
gotten.
it's not very often that the bats just agree with you.
Yeah. The I'd have to say the first, no, I'd say the 2nd and 4th one agreed with me a lot. First one was third one. That was the
And
third
to save time on extra menus, you switch back to auto aim while you're putting them in the coffins.
one. Yeah. I just do it first thing so I don't forget.
So do I.
Okay, so there is basically how it works is it unloads the world, loads the cutscene, unloads the cutscene, loads in the world, but until you unpause from the game, the world does not update. So you're still in front of the first coffin, the one on the right over there. But as you see, that never closes in all of the cutscenes. So instead of moving Jack, you're in front of an always open coffin.
Yeah, so you don't actually have to go to every one of them. But like it shows in the cutscene order, like it goes left to right. So if
I
you did
did
it on the
sub it.
left one, oh shit.
Oh my gosh.
And you stopped before Trash Skip to explain too. That's crazy.
I could probably sub 7 that then. With perfect luck.
Yeah, if there was perfect luck and perfect execution, that's probably about as good as we could get.
Yeah. Originally, when we were running on disk, I had a Thompson drive, which is the worst disk drive, second worst disk drive for a Xbox. It's the slowest disk drive too. The only one that's worse is Samsung B, and that burns rings into your disk.
Yeah, it's. I don't want to say high risk, high reward, but B drives do offer fast loads, but they destroy your games.
Yeah, it's because the laser is more powerful and is able to read more information. The problem is, to do that, more light equals more heat.
Here's a good example of a despawn where there were more trash can enemies that spawned on this ramp, and if you walk backwards, you can despawn them and go through. The old strat used to be to just pumpkin shield through them, but on like normal and nightmare, you don't get pumpkin shield, so I had to figure out a workaround.
Yep. And hell, any percent advanced route cuts out pumpkin shield for level 2 and level 3 fire.
That's true.
One of the best parts about this is that the keys are fast because you have 4 bottles instead of 1.
Yeah.
90% new game plus.
I find that if you have 4 bottles or 1 bottle, most of the menuing is pretty quick, but if you have anything in between, it's like a little bit annoying.
Yeah.
There's a lot of despawns that can happen in Mayor's house too, but only a few of them to actually save time.
Yeah. We're coming up on the first one where if I run into the bottom right corner, it's slightly, and I mean slightly faster on spawning the skeletons. And
Can I just say that I love Mayor's architecture? Like, I mean, like, it's terrible. I wouldn't want to live there, but it's so beautiful.
I'll be honest, it gives me a Meow Wolf feel.
Yeah, I could see that.
Shoutouts to Meow Wolf. Shoutouts to the Real Unreal, opened in DFW.
All right, we get Mayor out of his cage. We're steadily saving all the townsfolk.
Yep.
This is like the best despawn in the game. You go through that trigger, and then you walk back out the door. You can walk out immediately, and it'll still work.
Oh, I thought you had to wait for them.
No, you can just walk out immediately and come back in, and they'll still be despawning while you walk to the soul swing point. It's funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, no combat in this chapter really that much either.
Oh, no!
Oh no! That was not
Okay.
supposed to happen.
The Xbox controller has dead zones at the perfect 45-degree angle areas. And if you do that, Jack will stop and start walking.
Is
And
that
if-
like an Xbox console thing, or is that like if we got the Xbox 360 thing working, was that fix that?
Oh, the OG X360 does fix that, but just because it's a controller problem, not a.
Yeah.
Oh wait, am I going the wrong way?
I was about to say, you going for mayor skip? It doesn't work like that.
I already skipped the mayor. He's not there.
Yeah.
Mayor
Stuff
skip.
stuff like those enemies right there. If you walk back inside and then back out, usually they'll despawn as well.
Yeah. Mayor skip. That's called the digi jump, because Digifruit Dog found that if you jump at a perfect angle and a perfect like pixel on the edge,
Wait.
way perfect.
I just realized.
Nope.
I can probably come up with a consistent setup for it now that we know taunt stalling.
Yeah. But that saves, and I'm not kidding you, a second.
Yeah.
That is IL only. Welcome to Rooftop Rumble, also known as We're Going to Firebomb Children.
Yeah.
Now, this strat is found by, I wouldn't call him a speedrunner, a super player, if you will.
Yeah, I'd say that. That's a very good title.
Bullseye Strider, I consider the best Nightmare Before Christmas Oogie's Revenge player in the world. He beat this game on Nightmare mode without taking a single point of damage and getting S ranks first try on every chapter.
That is ridiculously hard to do. With like even just getting the S ranks first try. Like most of the on the Nightmare Hundo record, there's probably at least half of the chapters I play twice at least. And that strat is called Fast Brats. It is very fast.
It was found by I consider it being found by Bullseye Strider because he does that in his Nightmare video, but what he does extra is that's not infinite in his video.
Yeah.
And that's it's not infinite, and he stops at the very end to pick up all the music notes and gets a perfect song with all exclamation marks to S rank it first try under 2 minutes.
What an honest G.
He is
So-
I'm sorry, Azumi, he is the
No, you're good.
best Nightmare Before Christmas player in the world.
I probably second that, honestly. Like, I'm just fast. I'm not that good. But we got another Oogie speech coming up. But the reason why Fast Brats actually works like that is each one of them have their own hitbox. So what you're doing there, essentially, is hitting a firebomb on each one of them every firebomb. So instead of doing 100 damage to their life bar, you're doing 300 per firebomb.
Not to mention, they have a I don't know if it's an actual value, but it's like a low stagger rate where it's easy to knock them down.
Yeah, I don't know what controls that value. Oh shit, we going for a skeleton boost right here. This is it's a neat trick. It saves maybe what 8 seconds. I mean, it cuts out like 2 soul swings. But it looks clean. It is stylish. Look at that.
I'll be honest, that thing is free. Like,
Yeah.
once you do the coyote frames, you just mash the B button. And then you just go over here and immediately go across.
Yeah, and
And
you can
then-
actually swing across these if you're close enough to the edge without getting touched, but
I'm still trying to
Sometimes
get like, the feel around that.
yeah. I don't know if you can ever get touched by that. Like, I mean, probably can, but
I've
I
just had
haven't.
the one time where I got hit, but it landed me on the platform in front of me. So I'm a little cautious there. But
Yeah.
that was a fast first room.
That was amazing,
That was
honestly.
perfect. No, that was almost perfect.
All right, we got Return of the Spider here. We got round 3, but we took the L on round 2. We just he got a default victory.
Yep.
This room is a lot smaller than the OG Spider room, and it doesn't drop music notes, it drops regular currency. So, but, you know, the fight's the same, but Perfect Fight's 3 cycles instead of 2.
No, it's still 3 cycles in the regular one.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Because you have to get, you can only get enough souls for 3.
Oh, okay.
Actually, you probably could do it in 2 if you get a blue soul on one of the first few baby spiders.
Yeah, like I feel like I've seen it done in 2, like it was a 2 and then the song, but I can't be sure about it.
Whoa.
Fantastic fight.
This
I've
is
always
a
loved-
beautiful chapter 15, excuse me, 16, by the way.
Yeah, I've always loved the last swing of the Soul Robber combo, the big old spiky ball.
It was
That's
so
always
good they
been my
put it on the
favorite thing.
cover.
Yeah, they did. They did.
So, this room is probably one of the most famous in Oogie's Revenge speedrunning. Back in 2020, Japanese runner Illy Masks found something called Jack the Ripper skip. In this community, I consider it a privilege to find a big skip. So whenever someone finds it, they get to name it whatever they want. And they thought Jack the Ripper skip would be cool because Jack rips it and Jack the Ripper. But good friend Azumi here found a way to skip Jack the Ripper skip, affectionately be called Jack the Ripper skip skip, or JTRSS.
Yeah. There's also 2 like other like jumps you can do at the beginning, but they don't always like save time or anything. Oh
no!
Oh no!
That
You
was
had
almost
it.
perfect. No,
That
because
would've
I
been
was
so
listening to
good.
the music. There's a way to time that. Oh my god. Jack has slippery shoes.
Yeah.
Okay. It only on the
If
first
you've
time
been-
coming through. You can
if
time
you-
the music to step on that platform.
If you've been running for like, I want to say like 4 or more steps, and then you let go of the thumbstick, he just slides to a stop and it takes him another little bit of distance. But if you can get on that platform like he did and not fall off, that probably saves a decent chunk of time, maybe a couple seconds.
Not to
But
mention
otherwise,
the
you just have to run
swag.
around here.
No,
Yeah,
not
it
to
is
mention
definitely.
the swag.
Absolutely, that is the hypest fucking trick.
I
Except maybe
actually
candle
thought I
jump.
got it.
I did too. I was hyped right there.
Oh man, that probably would have been a perfect chapter 16 if I did that.
This is still like probably gonna beat my PB. What the
I did
heck
that
was
wrong.
my?
I was trying to do the pumpkin shield like quick cross, but so right here, despite showing skulls, there's an invisible wall here. So what we
Yeah.
do is we get to the bottom left corner, then we taunt and hold down right, and then do we just hold down right and immediately start jumping, or just halfway through?
Yeah, just taunt, hold down right, and just spam B.
Okay, let me try more down. Not that way.
I mean more right. Okay, we're having a
is-
little bit of trick.
The
The consistent setup was only found a little bit ago, so I mean it's a little finicky still.
yeah, but I still want to show this off in the submission video, just so that the people over at the marathon can understand what we're talking about.
Yeah. If it takes another minute or whatever, you know, it's whatever.
Yeah.
Still a good.
It's more marathon safe, honestly, than Jack the Ripper skip.
It is. It also doesn't require you to take damage.
Yeah, so that's good for damageless runs. You know, if you're Bullseye Strider.
Yeah. Or some other god.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'll try one more time, and I'll just have to finish this normally.
Yeah.
But, I guess technically the only other god at this game was old defunct fan site pumpkinpatch.eu. According to the person who wrote the walkthrough of the game, they beat Nightmare Mode for Henchlands Part 1 with level 1 Soul Robber and level 2 Fire, and getting all S ranks first try.
That's just like a killer accomplishment, honestly.
I believe they had to use the fire on the Valentine's Day door.
I could see it. Alright.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm holding down right, like perfect cardinal down right. So.
Yeah, I mean, you got it first try in practice, so I mean, like...
And I got it a few more times in practice, too.
Oh, okay. But basically what happens is, like, you'll see, after, like, we come up this next time, we're gonna go to the third platform and then soul swing over to a moving platform that lets us get onto this rock.
Yeah.
And if you nail Jack the Ripper skip, you just jump from the second platform to that rock. And that cuts out, like, 2 soul swings. You can still do the second half of Jack the Ripper skip, though.
Or I could just do Jack the Ripper skip.
Yeah, you can nail that first try. You can do that.
I know that
right
trick
there.
like the back of my hand now.
That right there is Jack the Ripper skip.
But the idea
It's still really
that was
clean.
still an S rank.
Yeah.
Jack the Ripper skip, that's how it usually was, but Jack the Ripper skip allows you to do that jump down to that entrance from the rock.
If you jump forward from the rock over top of that moving platform, you basically duplicate that.
Yeah. I just saw an opportunity, I went for it.
No, yeah, you nailed it.
So Roulette Oogie in both 80% and 80% New Game Plus, we try to get no notes, as little notes as possible, because Let's Dance loses time.
Yeah. Chapter 17 is pretty clean. Sometimes you can, like, I mean, ideally you do it in less than 1 full song cycle, like full verse, but sometimes you just can't do it. The ideal thing is,
Nuts.
no, that was right.
No, I wanted to hit him twice.
Oh. Well, I mean, I don't think hitting him twice there really matters. You want to get 3 dice into his mouth right here each time he does it, and sometimes the timing is pretty precise. Yeah, it's still fine.
But if you get 2 bombs and then 3 bombs, you can one cycle him like that. I haven't been able to do that yet. Basically, you do all that and then you do the guns here, and it kills him.
Yeah, I think the only time that I've done it is when I like preemptively bombed and hit him like with the tail end of my my first bomb.
There we go.
So yeah, if he would have hit him twice with that first set of dice, then that gun would have just killed him right there. He was at basically 1 HP.
Yep. 153, not bad. PB is 145.
And you miss it without watching the cutscenes, but that was also Oogie's shadow disguised as Oogie, so we still have not fought or encountered real Oogie yet.
We've heard him.
Yeah.
So right now, we have to do our kingly duties and make sure that while we're gone, things get done. So we first talk to the mayor and ask him to release all the other 5 holiday leaders downstairs. The Founding Fathers, the Easter Bunny, the Leprechaun, the Thanksgiving Pilgrims, and Cupid.
Yeah.
I can't believe I got all that first try.
Back
those are
in the
just fan
first,
theories.
me too. I don't even know. I wasn't even like thinking about.
Take time to grow back.
Sorry, I like this.
I wanted
Okay,
to
so
give him
yeah. We used to think that you had to talk to every townsfolk, but you really only need to talk to the mayor and the hanging tree.
Yeah,
Because
you
the
need
mayor, you need to make sure the holiday leaders are safe. So you talk to the mayor, and he's like, "You're gonna rely on me."
I can
And
do
then,
it.
yeah, and then you talk to the morning tree, and he's like, "You have to go fight Oogie. He went to the hinterlands or something like that."
Yeah. So I know where he gets. I sold stuff here, and I know where to go.
And
So,
make sure you talk to Zero's grave here. I've lost like 2 minutes on a world record pace run just walking without talking to Zero.
you, me, Paradox, Ecdysis, and Digifruit Dog. Roasts.
It's probably a rite of passage at this point.
Yeah.
Lose at least one run.
You lose one run to this, you lose one run to not talking to Witch.
Yeah. Yeah, yo, you're right. I don't even want to think about that.
The worst one was one time. We'll get to it in Christmas Town more when you collect it. But Paradox beat all the enemies, and the ornament was coming towards him, but he left it before it opened up his inventory.
I would have been so salty.
He was. That video is lost to time, unfortunately. But yeah.
The worst part is like when you're in those houses, or I mean, like the ornament one specifically, like if you leave, you have to catch the train again, and it's so annoying.
Yeah. Luckily, it was just the firebomb house
Yeah,
thing. If it was the other one, like that would have just been like, nope, I'm done running.
yeah, for real. So we
Oh, I missed it.
Zero has served his purpose. Yeah, sometimes you can actually hit both statues with a single pumpkin.
You can do it on the front, but it's a very tight window. The one in the back is really easier.
I was gonna say, yeah, the back one I get more often.
Yeah, the front one is possible, but the cons outweigh the pros. Like, there's no real reason to get it outside of IL runs.
The cool part is those statues always drop a health refiller drop, and if you're low on health, like I think it's 2 pumpkins or below, so 4 health or below, they'll drop a big drop, which heals you for 8 instead of 2. And if you get the double kill on them with the pumpkin at low health, they both drop the big drops.
And on any percent, that's basically a full heal.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know I could get hit like that. Okay. I thought it was only when he closed it.
Yeah, that looked a little ridiculous.
So right now, this is the last time throughout the game these baddies get upgraded. The last upgrade is right after you defeat his shadow. They don't get more health; they just get faster.
Yeah.
All right.
That like
Reach
that
into
trick
my pocket, pull out the key, get me out of here.
that trick enemy always just rides your ass all the way to this door.
Sometimes he will just blindside you and just right on the side of your head.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. But,
The worst
yeah.
the worst thing is getting hit by the bear trap, because that just like freezes you in place.
Yeah.
So we're coming towards the end of Spiral Hill here. We're gonna throw in the holiday doors that we've been collecting from our boss fights, and we're gonna get access to the hinterlands. So this is like this is like the third last really slow chapter, and then the next chapter after this is like the longest chapter in the game.
But also, I do want to say that the next chapter has my favorite song in the game.
Yeah. It honestly, it's always looked like super amazing visually too. I've always loved how the hinterlands looks.
Masterful door putting in.
Yeah.
So, some of the menuing in this game is just so fun to perfect.
Yeah, I don't use the thumbstick in the menu. It's too unreliable.
Yeah. Come on. Man. Fun fact: this is the only one with broken English in this entire game. Here lie the hinterlands. You may enter, but you can check out any time you like, but you can never leave. Do-do-do.
The internet has ruined my sense of humor, so I'll never be able to look at that sign again without seeing the bird SpongeBob.
Oh my god. So this is a giant maze. This is a better maze than Beryl could ever come up with.
That's a big fact right there. Like the game doesn't even tell you how this thing connects up. It just shows you what the connection are.
Yeah. And for probably years, I've been using a map. I think I finally got it down to a science.
I don't mean to brag, but no, I mean after my like third run, I kind of had it down.
Yeah. I don't know what took me so long to understand this place. It's just very confusing. Like I
kind of just developed a muscle memory. Like at this point, I'm half the time after a little hiatus, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to this entrance, and then I'll think to myself, wait, is this the wrong one? And then it'll just work out anyway.
Yeah. I made a quote-unquote better map that everyone in the community thought looked ugly and awful, and that helped me memorize this place. Because like I basically just went into MS Paint, erased most of the stuff, and drew black lines to each area.
Oh, so you didn't make the like colored one?
No, I just...
You just connected it like an old diner like maze.
Yeah.
That works though. That works.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always loved how just the art aesthetic of this area. It just looks like you hopped into the pages of some sketchbook. It's amazing.
Yeah. And I also like the artist implication of the storybook lost its life and its color, and you're returning life to the woods.
Yeah.
It still looks like a storybook with all the like brown colored in.
Yeah, it's just like illustrated properly.
Yeah. Storyboard versus final animation.
Facts.
But the music
once
is so calming. It sucks this isn't on Spotify.
Yeah, I would listen to this. But yeah, once you put in the first two doors that you have that you didn't use to unroll Spiral Hill, you get access to a couple more areas, and this is where the long part of the level starts. We have to go ahead and get 4 Oogie doors to replace the doors we put in at Spiral Hill. And to take the Oogie doors out of the tree without replacing them immediately requires us to do some fights. The fights for the what's it called? The pumpkin, the Halloween, the Easter, and the Valentine's Day door.
Yo, that was
all
the
are
fastest I did that.
that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Those 3 are all pretty fast, but the Thanksgiving Day door, you have to fight like 120 enemies or something like that.
It's
ridiculous.
Of a battle.
Yeah.
But
the new world record in New Game Plus like just uses the firebomb, but I love the Homie Hurricane, the Thanksgiving Day door.
yeah, I still use the firebomb because the Thanksgiving Day door has given me so much trouble that it's a second asylum away from my asylum.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll run out of blue souls when I Homie Hurricane the Thanksgiving Day door too, so it's always good to save. Like you definitely want to save one for the next chapter if you can, but it's not necessary.
Yeah. The next chapter can either be the easiest thing, or the game looks at you and goes, "That's funny."
Yeah.
You're funny.
When I went to chapter 20 on Nightmare, I was so annoyed because I ended up fire blasting the Ice King, and I didn't have anything to actually kill the Fire King with quickly enough, and he would just keep going underground and healing, and I could not outpace his healing, so I kept dying. And then when you die, you don't actually regain the fire or blue souls that you used.
Yeah.
And since that it was chapter 20, I couldn't even go back to town to restock because it was locked me into the boss fight. So I actually, and the actual cherry on top is what I forgot to save after chapter 19. So I had to replay chapter 19. It was
Saving in
such a-
Nightmare 100% is practically essential.
Yeah.
I never done it though. I raw ran all of Nightmare 100% both times.
I never felt so much pain as that.
The worst
Except
was
for-
I spent 45 minutes stuck on the rooftop
Mm.
before I realized you could actually leave and restock.
Oh, okay, okay.
And then I got chapter 20 first time, and I was like, get me out of here. I know what's going to happen if I try to run my mouth and get an extra 1,000 souls.
Yeah.
But,
There was this one time in Christmas Town where I like missed the fire blast on the lanterns, and no enemy that I could fight actually dropped fire souls, and I was so salty because I didn't know you could return to Halloween Town either.
yeah. If I could give a second and third thing I'd want in a remake, put a shop in Christmas Town. Just put a
Yeah.
shop in Christmas Town. And
Yeah, I mean, like, Jack's already conversing with the elves and stuff. Just make a little elf shop.
yeah. Or like just a simple like, hey, I heard you were coming. So we got some things made up for you.
And then what's the third thing?
Have a choice to where if you game over to respawn at Jack's house, you're able to like get your stuff back, but you're forced to walk all the way back to the objective. Risk versus reward, you know?
Yeah, I like that. I like those ideas. They should
Christmas
put you
Shop
in
is-
charge of the remake.
Or at least do what they did for Shift and like at least let me playtest it. If I got a chance to playtest it, I would take you with me to Capcom in Japan to try it out.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Because you're as big a part of this game as I am. Like, I don't want you to feel less about this game at all. You've contributed either the same amount or more than me.
No, we're just both fanatics.
Fnatic doesn't even begin to cover it.
Understatement of the Halloween Town century. So yeah, that's the final door right there. So like you can see, most of them, the 3, were fairly quick, and now we can just exit the hinterlands and finish the level.
Yep.
And it's not even like the Oogie doors that are corrupting the land. It's just the lack of their original door. So like even though we took out the Oogie doors, the cancer still remains, and we still need to bring the originals back.
Yeah. Not to mention, Oogie's magic is still populating this area.
Yeah.
If I got, as you see when I left the Easter door, there was purple ghosts coming out of it.
That's kind of like the red orb like locked doors in Devil May Cry. I always like envisioned them as kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
They're just impassable both ways.
Also, this is just a cool visual shot.
Yeah, I love Spiral Hill.
I'm upset there's no free camera in this game, but sometimes they just get the fixed camera right.
Yeah, I mean, like, it could have been something like Mario 64 or something where you can have free camera, but they have intentional angles too, you know what I mean?
There we go. That was not.
But the game's still fun without a free camera.
Yeah. It's just, I've always loved Henry Selick and Tim Burton's style of art and claymation that I would love to look closer at it.
That's a fact.
All right, now fellas.
The fastest chapter in the game.
All right, now fellas. What's cooler than being up front?
Ice cold.
Cold front. I can't hear you. I said,
Alright,
what's
alright,
cooler
alright, alright,
than being
alright,
up front?
alright, alright. So the cold front gift does effective damage to the Fire King, and it is fairly quick. The fastest way to kill him is a little bit riskier. You just blue soul and then do a soul spin behind him with the soul robber, but you know, sometimes like you have to get like 4.
46.
That was amazing. See, that's exactly what we're talking about. Like Dr. Finkelstein and the Fast Brats, those are like minute flat chapters, but that was 3/4 of a minute.
Yeah, that was. I could probably get a 45 if I like get the blue soul spin. Probably closer to a 43.
I would
But-
say the blue soul spin, you might be able to get a 40 flat.
But like, these fast chapters are very competitive, but also the hard chapters are competitive too.
Yeah.
I'd say because for a little bit I was trying to get my chapter 13 under 10 minutes, and then I got an 808.
Yeah.
And like that's
And now you just beat that.
Yeah. But like the idea with ILs is A, mostly practice, but B, it's also to try out cool strats you're not going to try in a full game run.
Yeah.
Also, that was our co-host again. Is it he or she?
He...
He knows how to brighten our spirits. Bum. But yeah. Right now we're returning the life back into the hinterlands. We're just basically going around the same way I did the first time and putting down the doors.
Yeah, we're reuniting the holiday trees. I don't know how Oogie like relocated them, but
He knows
when
magic.
you put, yeah, that's a good point. But you know, they return to their destined locations
Yeah.
as soon as they're made whole.
My favorite is how Jack responds to it. I'll let this cutscene play just so you can see it. It's funny as heck.
It is pretty good.
Never mind, he doesn't say it. When you return the
Oh, that was just the
Independence
first
Day.
two?
Yeah, he just like goes, "Oh well."
Yeah. I kind of got the vibe from his voice that he just like thought it just disappeared and like into non-existence.
Yeah. And then like he realized, oh, when you take the bad ones out, I could switch them out and fix them. Now I
Yeah.
get it.
So yeah, this is part of why this chapter's pretty quick. We're just righting the wrongs, and it's just walking from point A to point B. It's another one of those chapters with no combat that's necessary.
Yeah. It's not enough that we beat Oogie. We have to also fix everything.
Yeah. We have to help our friends and save the world.
And get the girl. These chapters I like just because it breaks up the monotony. Because each chapter has something different to do. I feel like there are no chapters that I have that repeat itself except maybe Vampire Brothers and Hinterlands Part 1.
Yeah.
Because you're just getting 4 objects to return back.
And for the most part, like, the majority of chapters are not only unique, but they're also pretty fun. So there's only basically those 2 that are a little bit mind-numbing.
Yeah. And honestly, like, working hard and getting to this point of the run, where you're finishing up Hinterlands, you're, like, fixing everything, it has a sort of calm euphoria to it.
Yeah, and I feel like part of it is after chapter 19, I kind of just feel like, oh yeah, I'm in the home stretch. I can just chill now. All the rest of these chapters are what, like 5 minutes,
Yeah.
and then the ending. So now, right after this room, we get to
A coin
see.
flip.
Yeah, we get to see the reunited doors. Just never go up into that.
That's just
Third
great. Just
area.
imagine you're a kid and you're like, all right, coin flip.
Yeah, that top path just takes you to the exit of Hinterlands. So
Entrance
it's
slash
a little
exit.
bit of a troll.
Fun fact, in the a cutscene after you beat Fire and Ice King, it shows the Thanksgiving door returned, even though it's not returned.
I'll have to look at that again, but yeah, Fire and Ice King gave us the Christmas door, and now we have access to Christmas Town.
According to Roulette/Shadow Oogie, that was something particularly nasty, aka
Yeah.
something worse. It's supposed to be the worst boss in the game. They're just hyped up king skeletons.
They're definitely annoying, but
Oh.
first try.
That is a 1 in 256 chance.
There's a bunch of trees around. When you smack it, you either get trolled by a pumpkin like flying at you, or you get the red ornament.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go for this now.
Yeah, jump on the train. So you only need to do a single jump on there. If you jump at the right point of the present box car, you can just jump onto the back of it. But the game wants you to drop down onto it.
Also, I cannot explain why. Specifically there is no what's it called?
No invincibility frames for the carousel?
Yeah. So they just get hit over and over again really fast.
Yeah, like if you've seen anything on like Nightmare New Game Plus where we do the flamethrower strat in Chapter 1, it's literally like it takes a second and a half for the enemy to finish burning and then actually take another hit.
Oh, I'm stupid.
Nah, it's all good. Just go do Firehouse.
Actually, no, I want to get rid of the other side first.
That's fine.
Oh, man.
You can also jump like next to the tunnel for the one you just missed and skip going around and up to Firehouse, but I don't think it really saves any time. It's just kind of cool.
And 100% we actually jump back onto this train after we get out.
Yeah, both of the houses you have to do twice on Hundo runs.
Yep. I missed that.
You gotta be careful of the little tiny spiders because they steal your money.
That's
Little
worse
Mr.
than
Crab
any
boy.
damage they can do.
Yeah. Because they steal your money, they run away, and then they burrow into the ground and you never see them again.
But if you attack them before they get back, you get 10 more souls.
Yeah.
Not worth it.
I seen the fade out of the menu and I thought you actually exited and pulled a paradox.
No, I kept my thumb off for a reason.
Yeah. But yeah, in between those two light posts, you can jump up from the bottom, but it's just style.
Uh-oh. I mean, that's a good timing to, if you just immediately leave and go.
It lets me flip the switch and then, you know, get there faster or whatever, but...
I don't know if it's on Xbox, but PS2, you can be too far back, and the thing won't show up. The little green thing letting you know you can swing across.
Huh. I never knew that. I do know that if you, like, you try and Soul Robber too early, you can actually miss the window for yourself to be able to Soul Robber across. So this is Trick and Treat House.
And that was Trick and Treat House?
Yeah, exactly. And we now have all the ornaments for the big old Christmas tree.
Oh yeah, Oogie attacked Christmas Town and destroyed the tree by putting Tiki Island decorations from the Scooby-Doo movie.
Oh yeah, I guess we never really said what his goal was. I mean, he said it in his speech, but Oogie wants to be the 7 Holidays King.
My man, even though failing, kept wanting to improve.
Yeah.
He wanted to be King of Bugs, and then he wanted to be the Pumpkin King, and then he wanted to be the 7 Holidays King.
He did pretty well. Like, I mean, he didn't fail completely.
Yeah. I'd have to say his, if you want to get technical, he wanted, I think, between Pumpkin King and 7 Holidays King was controlling the Heartless in Kingdom Hearts 1. Maybe.
What happened?
He wanted to control the Heartless in Kingdom Hearts 1 to take over Halloween Town.
Dang, he's got some big ambitions.
It's all about that grind.
It's about drive. It's about power.
We stay hungry, we devour. If you look up a certain speedrun fails video, namely the 144th episode, I'm featured because I forgot to switch the thing there.
Oh, I'm featured in a speedrun fail video too. I got fast. Oh no, I think I'm instant karma or something. I got fast. I got the fastest entrance in one of the ILs, and then like it just completely bit me in the ass like 10 seconds later.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm featured in instant karma and speedrunning number 20.
Well, was that Glad Jonas? All hail.
Yes, it is.
All hail Glad Jonas.
Big fact, big true. Oh, we're on the last level already.
Yeah, those last few chapters go by quick. You're
Yeah.
in Christmas Town for like 5 minutes, and like that's it.
It's like, wait, where'd the white go?
Whoa. Whoa.
So this is Holiday Trash Hill.
Why are you calling my home that?
Nah, that's you and me both, buddy.
Right next to my Jack Skellington pumpkin, next to my Japanese 1 in 30,000 Japanese VHS and Nightmare Before Christmas, next to my Jack Skellington pumpkin, next to my Zero plush, next to my Jack Skellington 7 foot
Next-
tall,
Next to your collection of custom VHS tapes.
next to my Decisive Pumpkin Keyblade.
Yeah.
Can you guess what my
Commission
favorite movie
Professor,
is?
if you want. Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
That's actually not a bad movie.
I don't think I've watched
Name and
it.
Address withheld in it.
Oh shit.
A certain orange president.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm allowed to joke about him yet or not. Still waiting for the okay.
Hey, you gotta hear back from the PR team.
Yeah. What I like
So-
about this, you can see in my camera my face glowing orange in
Yeah.
this chapter because we're so close to him.
Just the fire blasts.
For what is a man?
Those gotta be good for your complexion.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But yeah, you can see in the background a little bit, there's some gas that is coming up, and the normal, like, intended way to fight him is to go up on the second floor and just flamethrower those gas lines so it does damage to him. But
then-
you can deal damage to his feet until he kneels, which on easy it's 150 damage, and then it's follows standard normal and nightmare double and triple
Yeah.
thingies. But then he just falls over if you do enough damage to his feet, and then you can just massively damage him. And welcome to the best song, maybe the best song in the game. It's arguable, but I'd consider it the best song in the game.
I'd have to say this is one of my favorite final bosses in the gaming because it gives you everything you've learned throughout the game and puts it to the test.
Yeah.
Namely with Let's Dance, platforming, and environmental context sensitivity.
Yeah, and it's like Devil May Cry's fights, just to make the obvious correlation. You can basically use whatever weapon to fight basically any boss, but this boss, it basically just wants you to, I don't know, I don't want to say like be good at everything, but it just wants you to understand it.
Because throughout the entire game, it's been showing you the little floating arrows. It's been having Jack like say something that you have to connect in your mind. The game basically is giving you a final test. What does this mean?
And you can fail any other Let's Dance and it just does damage, but this one is mandatory to at least, not miss. In this one specifically, if you miss a note, you take 1 damage. So,
One nightmare.
no, you actually take 1 damage on Nightmare.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was 2.
Yeah, I didn't know that either until I actually did Nightmare Hundo, but
I was too focused on getting it perfect to test it.
Yeah.
But
So the only thing keeping you from beating Oogie is taking too much damage that you die because you're just not good at rhythm games. But the more max health you have, the more chance you get.
and I have beaten Guitar Hero on hard and halfway on expert, so I'm a little good at rhythm games.
I've played a little bit of Osumania.
Sweet.
Time the 7 holidays.
That's fair.
You're king of nothing.
That's fair. Man, it's so hard not to sing along.
Man, although I don't play fair, this much for fun.
Not mine, of course, but yours, old boy. That'll be just
And then
fine.
time is right on the final input.
Yeah, right on that last right arrow there.
Over
The in-game timer does continue until the final screen where the timer appears, but we use both, but default to RTA on the boards.
Yeah. I believe like the very first runs before I even started speedrunning, we had the final time be shown on this screen. So like time would be here.
Right.
But we don't do that anymore.
I mean, it works either way, but it just makes it so you don't have to skip through the cutscenes as fast.
Yeah. Because that again it goes back to load times. So yeah, I've been playing on
Yeah.
this account for over 9 hours. So that is The Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie's Revenge, 80% New Game Plus. We hope you can consider us for your event, and we hope that you can showcase us in a way that can just give this game the justice it deserves. Azumi, do you have any
Honestly.
closing thoughts?
Tim,
This game is truly just a masterpiece. Like it has its low points. It's the Soul Rabber grabbing stuff is probably one of the most annoying bits, but it's just such a good experience. It's got amazing soundtrack. The visuals are still nice after all this time. Like they've aged perfectly. And it's just a fun game. It's pretty short too. It's not like a 8-hour speed run. It's a good one.
Well then, I would like to thank you for your consideration, and we hope that we can get in to the event. This is the Professor,
And Izumi.
and this has been The Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie's Revenge, 80% New Game Plus.